Respected Bosnian Sevdah musician Damir Imamovic has been performing this last week at Istanbul's Pera Museum. Sevdah music has been a part of the culture fabric of the Balkans for centuries, so we sent our Joseph Hayat to explore its modern-day significance and find out how young people these days are relating to it.
Sevdah, the folk music of the Balkans, has been performed for centuries. Whether it be a fast-tempo piece or slow and emotive, Sevdah is almost always emotive and emotionally charged. Sevdah has been gaining in popularity since the Ottoman times due to its folk-based background, performed with passion that embeds itself within the fabric of the diverse Balkan culture. Damir Imamovic is a well-known Sevdah musician who was brought up in the then besieged city of Sarajevo. But how can one summarize and explain the concept of Sevdah?
Sevdah is, in the same way as Bosnia, is some kind of a bridge between different worlds. Worlds of old Slavic times combined with Ottoman Empire times, combined with the heritage of Oriental culture and Oriental everything, and of course contemporary Western world that we all belong to.
Sevdah is largely emotionally charged, but can performers such as Damir truly summarize the feeling in a mere word or two?
Well, music cannot be explained in words, you know. Some technical stuff can be explained, like among us professional musicians, like scales, rhythms and stuff like that. But what is this transfer that happens cannot be explained. It's magical, it's something that comes from inexplicable parts of our nature, and maybe it's good that it's so, because we enjoy it.
With Sevdah having a strong presence here in Istanbul, combined with the continuing globalization and economic migration in the region, the Balkan community is more integrated than ever before, though the past was far bloodier and tragic in the 1990s. Given this, can young millennials relate to Sevdah? I put such question to those attending Damir's concert here in Istanbul.
I know Sevdah music because I live in a village with a large Bosnian community. My grandmother still sings Sevdah songs. Of course, here they are performing with instruments. But in our village, they just perform vocally. So I know the music, and I think it has a very beautiful tone.
I think every generation has an obligation to try something else and to express art as the way of our freedom and not only identity but also freedom.
Sevdah is clearly an infectious form of art, and it's going to succeed for sure at Damir's family. He's seen success throughout the generations, and he's continuing to impact people globally. Joseph Hayat, TRT World, Istanbul.
This week, one of the most respected female Sevdah performers, Amira Medunjanin, was in Istanbul, and we sent Joseph Hayat to find out more about her passion for this traditional folk music and how she found her own unique style as an artist.
Amira, you've often said that Sevdah cannot be defined in a single word, or certainly not in English, though you've previously conveyed it as a passionate and painful longing for love. What type of love commonly is that? A love for life, a cause, or an individual?
It's like love in general, you know. I mean, all the Sevdah songs are written about, and I've said this many times, all those deepest human emotions that sometimes we all pretend not to have them. You know, and we try to hide it from the rest of the world. Usually, it's the love between the two, you know, and usually it's unrequited love, which is like the most horrible one, if you ask me. The sad, melancholic, you know, thing comes out of them, but too often for women, I have to say, I have to use this opportunity and say this because in majority of them, women are the ones suffering. Very rarely the songs describe the suffering of men over women. That's quite interesting thing to emphasize. But love in general, love for life, passion for life, and you know, everything that we live day to day, even nowadays, is described in these songs. Even though they're written like 400 years ago, they're quite universal with the messages, and I think anyone can find themselves within those lyrics nowadays.
You have an extensive following on digital and social media, though notably few music videos beyond snippets from live performances on stage.
I am not, like, you know, entirely against the videos, but I prefer, you know, that people do come and to the concerts and enjoy this exchange of the energy that you can't feel while watching the video or on YouTube or the live recording someone does. Normally it's like telephones, you know, they spend half of the concert actually recording it instead of just being there in a way.
It's not uncommon for you to perform in places of worship. Is this because of the acoustic opportunity that they present, being historic buildings, or is it because you're passionate to embrace audiences of all cultures and faiths?
Well, it's a good thing that you asked me that. Actually, it's a bit of both, you know. Although the first bit has a stronger impact on me, you know, I really enjoy the acoustics of those places. It's just like amazing. It's like an ally in our performance.
It's fair to say there's real variance in the style of clothes worn by Sevdah artists. If I may say, your choice of clothing is both respectfully conservative, but it's also elegant.
Thank you. That's a compliment. That's a compliment to the ladies who make these things for me. I wear black, but inside there's so many colors that if I wear colorful things, you know, I would be too shiny on stage, I think. So I like it. I like elegancy. I like unusual. I like a little bit of avant-garde. Things that make me, you know, I feel good when I wear, you know, stuff like this, for instance. You know, this is all made in Sarajevo by fantastic designers there.
Well, avant-garde is certainly the word to take away from this interview. Thank you so much for your time and joining us on Showcase.
Pleasure.